Borderline personality disorder. What to talk about today? Who knows? Certainly not me. Talk about fate. We could talk about karma. We could talk about why the Lord or the Nus or creation itself wants me to go into a meaningless job that will be of no real value to me personally, and I just make minimum wage. Speaking of jobs and minimum wage, there is a new feature on YouTube I'm very excited to let you all know about. It's the only thing that YouTube is at. Anyway, I'll just get to the chase. You can now leave donations right here, right now. You don't have to go to Patreon if you don't want to. You don't have to go to PayPal. All you have to do is go to the description of this video and you'll see a little thank you tab. Just hit that and you can send actual donations that way. That really would help out this channel. I've already put $100 down on this channel, and I'll match whatever anybody wants to donate using that thank you tab. I will double that amount to give to this channel as well. I want to talk about something crappy, okay? I'm sorry, but no, I'm not. I'm not sorry. I'm not one bit sorry. I'm not. There's really no sorrow here. This is just a sad fact of reality that I've come up with. This is my sad fact of reality. I came up with it all on myself, on my lonesome, from years and years of experience. It's kind of a bummer, though. Whether a person gets better with BPD, whether a person becomes self-aware and all of that, I think depends more on circumstances than anything else. In fact, I think everything in life depends on circumstances more than anything else. That does not mean that we can let circumstances beat us down, though, because it's a weird double-edged sword here. No, actually, it's not a double-edged sword. It's more of a sword of contradiction. That should be the name of this video. BPD, the sword of contradiction. Because it is. I just said that I believe that it's circumstances more than anything else that cause a person to go down the path they go down. That the person doesn't really have very much of a choice. The circumstances that you have to deal with and your life decisions beforehand are going to predetermine the outcome. You can't just tell me to have a good attitude if everything in my life has led me to believe that that's not possible. I can't just trick myself into believing in something that's never proven itself accurate. The circumstances have never proven themselves to be true. There is this odd condition, they call it Alice syndrome, based off Alice in Wonderland. You can look it up. This is true. I'm not making this up, even though I should be. It sounds made up. This condition will cause people to have spatial recognition defaults. Therefore, like, you could suddenly think you're like giant and tall and bigger than the house. Or possibly you could shrink down to a little teeny bitty little size. And their spatial recognition is telling them this. And it's generally, it happens to everybody, like in our childhood. Like when we're younger, we apparently go through this more than in our adulthood. For some people, it just doesn't go away. And when we were children, we don't really remember it too much. But it would usually happen when you're falling asleep. So if you're ever falling asleep, right on the verge of sleep, and then thought you shrank or got really giant, maybe you did. Now, of course, physically, these people are not actually changing size, but in their head they are. And if in your head you are like huge, how are you not? I mean, everything happens in our head. Our reality is based off that. Therefore, their reality is very true. Those people can't change that. You can't help the fact that you're now a giant or a teeny tiny little person. Punch somebody in the face, I didn't just punch them in the face for what just now happened. I punched them in the face for years worth of shit that has led up to them getting punched in the face. And they, in turn, have lived an entire life building up to being punched in the face by me. And there is nothing either of us could do to stop that course of action. Every decision you make is made just a little bit beforehand. The process of doing it has already started by the time you consciously realize what you're doing. So if you're thinking, should I run or should I not run? You've already made the decision. Your body's already doing what it needs to do to start running, if you're going to, or it's already started its freezing process. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can try to run as much as you want, but if your subconscious decided you're not going to go anywhere, you're not going anywhere. And the way they found out this decision-making thing is they hooked people up to these electrodes and stuff that would monitor their brain. My point is, if everything is determined, not so much as the future is written, but just that life situations, that we're already going to make decisions based off what has come before in our life, it shapes our vision and then we have no free will, and that's kind of a bummer. It also means that we can't change anything. Which means my whole being where I am right now and dealing with my BPD and the best way handling it in the best way I've ever handled it is completely not on me. Like, I can't say that. It would be foolish for me to try to help anybody, because unless you've had the exact same situations and lived the exact same life, it's not going to work. I think that's why advice stuff doesn't work on people. I've always thought that people just don't take good advice. The advice is only good for me. I'm giving them advice that works for me, and unless you've had my life situation, it's not going to work. And we get frustrated with people. We just don't understand why they can't listen, and it doesn't matter. You could do everything exactly the way that it's described for you, and you still probably won't succeed. Every person must forge their own path. Now, what's contradictory about all of this, you're wondering? Well, I do believe that our attitude has to be in a positive way to make positive outcomes. But wouldn't that be predetermined too, or is that something we control? That part is still a mystery. We haven't been able to figure that one out. Like that inner monologue in our head. Now, if that one's negative or positive, I think we'll have an outcome on what your subconscious brain decides to do, whether it be positive or negative. That, I believe, we may have control over. I do believe thoughts might be the only thing that we can control. We might not be able to control what decisions we make, but we can control what thoughts we make leading up to those decisions, possibly. That's where the contradiction part comes in. We can maybe retrain our subconscious to make more positive decisions instead of negative ones, if that's what it usually does. Like, I've really focused on not attacking people, individual people. I'll still get really mad at inanimate objects. I break everything. But when it comes to people, I try not to do anything harmful. And if I do, I try to fix it as fast as possible. And I've found myself, I can be playing a video game and destroy the controllers and all that, rage out, destroy the system. I have no control over that whatsoever. But then someone can do something really messed up that I should be mad about, and I'll be very understanding these days. I believe it's because I've done the work that in my mind I've gone, I've tried to keep telling that. My inner monologue is always telling me that I've been there too. No matter what somebody does that pisses me off, I've probably done the same thing to somebody else. I've either equal or lesser value. But I'm sure I piss people off on a daily basis that I never even know that I pissed off, because they were just nice about it. And I don't know it because I wasn't intentionally trying to do something to piss them off. I mean, sometimes just a comment can piss somebody off. Like the other day, I was working with somebody, and I was really busy. I was really in the middle of something extreme. I mean, it wasn't like I was, fighting fires or nothing, but I was moving a shelf, and I'm right in the middle of moving a shelf, and this is very complicated stuff. Shelves are heavy. I've got a shelf above my head. I'm trying to get... Anyway, there's a lot of technical stuff that goes into it that you don't need to know about, but just trust me that moving a shelf is not always the easiest thing to do, especially in a crowded store at like noon. And this person comes up to me asking to find something. And I don't have the time to answer them. They're all, do you have hubcaps for 1978 Dodge hatchback? And so I responded with, I can guarantee you that it's not right here. I can guarantee you that. It is not here. And then they got pissed off at me and called me a smartass. How am I being a smartass? It's not. I wasn't making it up. It's not there, and I'm lying to you, you stupid. What I told them was a 100% fact. They were not right there. And I did not know where they were. In fact, I don't even think the store carries those anymore. If they ever did. But I'm the smartest. I'm the smartest. I'm the one that's being an asshole, right? I'm the jerk, right? I'm the asshole. I don't think so. I think they're the asshole. But anyway, this is getting me too heated, and I have neighbors, and then they're going to be mad that I'm screaming and yelling. Do you understand what I'm saying? What do you think? Do you think I'm full of it? Or are you completely lost? Are you still trying to figure out how to find that thank you tab so you can give me money? Let me know in the comments section below. Just because there's a thank you tab now does not mean that you shouldn't go over and check out Patreon, because Patreon has a lot more to offer than just giving me $1 a month. There are like all kinds of videos over there that are entertaining and good, and are the stuff I can't put on YouTube. Until next time, keep on keeping on.